Growing up in the 1960s and 70s, my dad used to turn on the AM radio in the morning. Every day at the kitchen table, we would sit down, have cream of wheat or bacon and eggs or whatever. And one of the programs we always listened to was Paul Harvey, who died in 2009. Now, he never claimed to be a prophet. He didn't use scare tactics, but one broadcast from 1965 seemed to be prophetic and describe our culture war and this present darkness permeating our land today. It was called, If I Were the Devil. That's next. I'm David Fiorazzo, and this is Christ and Culture. The spiritual dynamic in play here is undeniable, as the satanic assault on God, truth, the church, and family in America has affected every aspect of our culture. Paul Harvey often used humor as he commentated on news of the day, but on this 1965 radio program, he detailed reasons for the decline in biblical values. He seemed to understand what too many busy people today still don't get. We're losing our country. Truer than we want to admit, the following is what he broadcast word for word in 1965. Listen.
If I were the devil, if I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree, thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing. Paul Harvey. Good day.
Good day. If I were the devil, I'd just keep on doing what he's doing. Every time I listen to that, something new jumps out at me. Deify science, right? No God, science. But let's briefly sum up a few of the demonic agendas that Paul Harvey just alluded to in 1965. Capture the nation of America, deceive and pervert churches, call the Bible a myth, declare that there's no creator, infiltrate entertainment, media, and education, promote drugs and porn, remove God from institutions, encourage socialism, downplay the Constitution and patriotism, redefine truth and marriage, promote the perverse. If I were the devil, I'd just keep on doing what he's doing. Paul Harvey's commentary was ahead of his time and a vivid description of how the father of lies deceives people. He plots and plans, seeking to steal, kill, and destroy. And he will use and abuse anyone gullible enough or wicked enough to do his dirty work. The devil has been going after children, especially at the youngest ages today. He uses a lot of people to do it, right? He works to rob them of childhood joy and innocence by confusing them with things they don't understand and sowing seeds of doubt regarding biological sex. They're exposed to sexual ideas and perversions they're too young to process. And as they get older, the devil uses corporations, schools, government, and entertainment to encourage sexual experimentation, promiscuity, and abortion while destroying any belief in God or biblical values. Repeated lies and propaganda produces disciples of humanism, globalism, political activism, socialism, and suppression of the truth. It's not over, friends, but this is how the enemy has advanced on our watch. Concerned American, your move. God bless you, and keep speaking the truth about things that matter.